Welcome to the Fermented Homestead. If you're new here, my name is Anna, and on this channel, I'm sharing our journey of learning how to turn our home into a homestead. Today is day 12 of Vlogmas / Fermentmas. At the end of yesterday's video, I had told you guys that I was planning on making yogurt cheese, kefir cheese, or like a Greek style yogurt. Just basically showing you guys how you can strain your ferments to get them thicker. But squirrel. I was trying to find some recipes, some fermenting recipes, and this one jumped out at me and I have to make it. So we got started on it last night. I'll go ahead and show you what I was doing with it earlier, but basically all I did was I cut off the ends, cut them into about 1-inch pieces, and then I put the salt inside the bowl and dipped the ends of each of the cucumbers in the salt and then rolled the cucumber in it. So you're basically you're breading it almost with salt, and then I put them in a strainer over a bowl, covered in a cloth overnight. And here we are. And just now I heated up and thickened up the rice flour and the water, which is the first step this morning. I did it ahead of time, hoping that it will cool down by the time we need it. And now we need to cut up the rest of the vegetables and just start to assemble our delicious cucumber kimchi. This is a recipe vlog, but it's also like a vlog. So let's chat while we're cutting up our veggies. I'll throw an affiliate link down below for this book if you're interested in it. I would definitely recommend it. It has some super unique recipes in here. What we need for this recipe is 1 carrot. It calls for 1 bunch of Korean chives. I live in Missouri, that ain't happening, and I didn't want to go to the store to buy regular chives, so we don't have the chives that's called for in here. A 1-inch piece of ginger. To all the people out there who make cookbooks, will you please start putting weights in there? Like, how many grams of this do I need? Because this 1-inch piece of ginger is gonna be a lot different than this 1-inch piece of ginger. And then 3 cloves of garlic. Some people like to peel their carrots, some people don't. When you're doing things like canning, it's a little bit more important to peel your vegetables, but when you're fermenting, you're not trying to kill the bacteria, you're trying to culture the bacteria. If you peel them, you're gonna remove a lot of the bacteria that you need in order to begin your culture. So I always leave it on. And anyways, I promised you a little chit chat. So a lot of you guys know that I have been struggling with my health. I have a lot of issues with my health. I have been kind of struggling to get back to the weight that I once achieved, and it's just not been going great. So I don't know if you guys are aware of, it's another channel called Keto Rewind. She has a very similar story to myself, and where she lost all the weight. She got down to, she was 1 pound away from her goal weight, and then she just gained back. I don't know if it was all that she had lost, but she gained back a great amount of the weight. And you know, same exact thing happened to me. I got to I think I got to 2 pounds under my initial goal weight, and then I just gained, I didn't gain it all back, thank God, but I gained enough back to be really frustrating. And I've been trying, I should say, I've been wanting to get the weight back off and get to where I was before when I felt so good. But I don't know, just watching her videos lately have been super duper inspiring to me. She's really getting into mindset and really convincing me how important that aspect is to losing weight. It's not just doing what you need to do. It's getting your mind on your side. I guess I just made that up, but that's basically what her videos have been about lately, at least the ones that I've been watching, and I'm finding them to be incredibly inspiring. She's kind of with all different ways that you can get yourself back on track or stop yourself from going off track. And she made this vision board. I don't know if that's something that I have an interest in doing, but I may. Big part of it is just not necessarily what she's been talking about, but it's what she's saying is helping me to realize that I'm the problem and I'm the solution. So if I don't get my mind in the right place, I'm just gonna continue with the torture that I've put myself in for the last 2 years. It's crazy. I feel like I have not fully committed to this need for a very drastic lifestyle change. I don't require a massive lifestyle change, but I definitely am only 90% in. And if I don't get to the other 10%, the 90% just doesn't really matter that much. At least not as far as the goals that I have for myself. I need to fix my mindset. I need to get myself, how do I want to say that? There's so much I don't even know how to put into words. I need to turn my goals into plans. And I need to make sure that my mind is in the same spot. I need to make sure that when temptation does come my way, that I actually want to say no and I'm willing to do it. I don't have like thank God, I don't have any kind of like a massive binging anything, but my main issue is that I stay up late and I munch. And it's just like also, and the entire day doing great, wonderful, feeling awesome. And then in the evening, I stay up late and then I just have something stupid, you know? So I think probably the key for me is to quit being such a night owl. And maybe I need to just have some more things that are on plan, things that are in keeping with my goals at the ready. You know, maybe I could make up a batch of deviled eggs and just have them ready in the fridge for me. Or I could make up a few Scotch eggs that I can just cook up in the air fryer whenever I feel the urge. Or, you know, make sure I've always got some bacon in the fridge. I can just cook it up, you know. I think that's a big part of it, is that I haven't convinced myself enough. It does take all of me to do it in order to be successful. I did it once and I lost it. I didn't lose it, I threw it away. I think I need to spend more time hyping myself up. A lot of Jess's videos have lately mindset altering quotes in them. One of them was like kind of an altered quote from Abraham Lincoln, and it was basically choose what you want most over what you want now. And it's like keeping the end game, you know, like whatever my goal is, you know, weight loss, health, or just anything, any goal that you have is keeping the end in mind and choosing that every time over what you want now. How important is that spoon of peanut butter over your long-term goal of feeling good, getting slim, and being healthy, you know? And you have to make that choice every single time. So that's where I'm at. Another quote that she had put in today's video was, if you're not willing to change, don't expect your life to either. I was like, Her videos, her quotes, her inspiring videos lately have really just cemented in my mind. Like I said earlier, I'm the problem, but I'm also the solution. And it's my choice which one I am. So let's get the rest of these ingredients ready. I know a lot of people say that you can scrape the garlic with a spoon. You know what happens when I do that? It goes in my eyeball. So I don't do that. This recipe calls for, what's that called? Where's that at on there? It calls for gochugaru, which is like a Korean pepper. I don't have that. When I first read the recipe, I thought it was calling for this, gochujang, but it's not. I looked it up. An acceptable substitution is red chili pepper, and I have this kind of tame cayenne. I'm using the tame cayenne because it calls for 1/4 cup, and I feel like if I use the 140,000 heat unit cayenne that I have, I don't know how pleasant it will be, because that's a lot. I love heat, don't get me wrong, like I crave it, I put it in everything, but I don't want to make myself not want to eat this. So we'll get an idea of the flavor after the ferment, and then we can tweak it next time. This recipe calls for 3 cloves of garlic. We all know I'm not doing 3 cloves of garlic, let's be real. And let's do like most of this. I love garlic. Kind of building on what I was saying earlier, my thing that I need to get my mind, my heart, my soul just all of my being on the same page, understanding every single thing matters. Where I have been messing up or failing, whatever you want to call it, is that the understanding of how much of me is going to be required in order to accomplish this. There's no, it has to be 100%. Every fiber of my being needs to be committed. There can't be any little check in the back of my mind. I am not that kind of person that moderates and can have a cookie and just not eat a lot of cookies. That's just not me. I'm not a moderator. I am an abstainer. It is significantly easier for me to have no cookies than one cookie. And I don't even really like cookies. Cookies are just an example. But it's easier for me to never have something. Not never my entire life, but never in the amount of time that it takes me to accomplish my goal. My point is, if I'm not willing to say no when those thoughts come rolling in your head, I'm not going to be successful. If I'm not willing to just shut it down when temptation comes my way, I'm not going to achieve my goal. If I don't make sure that I have the things that I need, healthy foods that are in line with my plan and things that work well for me, my body, my lifestyle, I'm not going to be successful. And that might mean that I have to do a little bit of meal prepping, which is fine. That might mean that I need to do a little bit extra in the kitchen in order to make something interesting enough to make me want to choose in the moment, to make me choose what I want most over what I want now. Now we need to drain off the cucumbers. See all the water and salt that accumulated in the bottom here? That just was pulled out of the cucumbers. Somehow that's supposed to keep them crunchy, or I don't know. But anyways, let's rinse these off. So then we're gonna add the julienne carrots, and it says the chives, and I just realized I have a bunch of onions cut up in the fridge. Not a bunch. I have like a half of an onion cut up in the fridge. I might try just adding a little bit to it just so you can get kind of that zingy flavor. For those of you who have been kind of following along with my weight loss health adventures, I have a lot of before videos. I'm gonna start this, I'm gonna do that, we're gonna do this, or fasting videos. What happened after you fasted? Nothing. That is a thing. So this kind of just explains why. And I guess that it also explains to myself why that's been happening, because it's frustrating for me too, because I want to achieve my goals. I remember how it felt to be that thin and healthy. I remember how that felt. For people who've never been overweight, you can't really fully relate how challenging it is. And it's even like she was saying, it's just as difficult to lose the weight as it is to be overweight. It's tough to lose the weight, but being overweight sucks too. It's it's a chore just to put your boots on, not that it's like a chore, I'm not that big, but it's way more difficult than it was before I had a messed up gut and before I had the extra weight on. It's way more difficult to do just everyday average things. It's harder to even breathe. It's harder to, walk out and check on the chickens. It's harder to do everything. It's harder to sit up or stand up, or, all of these things are more difficult. So why not channel all of that frustration and redirect the extra work towards something that's gonna turn my goals, turn my dreams into a plan. So I'll be working on that. If y'all have any tips on how to do stuff like that, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, because thanks to Jess at Keto Rewind, Your girl has got a reality check. It's time to make some changes, you know? It says to place the ginger, the gochugaru, garlic, and cooled pasta paste, cooled rice paste, into the bowl of a food processor and blend until smooth. And then I guess we just rub it all together. So it just says to mix it to coat everything, and then we're gonna put it in our quart jar. Pack it in there. Canning funnel would be great right about now. Canning funnel would be a great idea here. This room is gonna be so hard to clean. BRB. Definitely use gloves. It says to allow to ferment at room temperature for 3 to 7 days. There's no need to apply a weight to this ferment since the fermentation period is so short. I don't know if I agree with that statement. This got super messy, seriously. I don't know if you can see it. If you don't get the rim clean or keep it clean, it would be more ideal. All these little things on the outside of the jar can mold. We don't want your stinking mold. Let's pack it in. I am gonna use a weight. I'm just gonna put this mason top weight on there, pickle hook. But we're gonna use something that I don't use very often. We're gonna use an airlock. My husband uses these all the time for his liquor ferments, but I don't use it very often. Now seems a pretty good time, right? Basically, you just fill up, there's 2 little pieces inside of here, and you just fill it up with water, and these little holes on the inside here come up through this pipe. This is a terrible way to explain it. Let me go grab a second one so I can show you better what I mean. All right, so here we go. It comes with this particular kit that I bought. I'll link it down below if you're interested in it. I think it works great. It comes with this plastic lid that already has the hole and the gasket in there. And it also comes with a gasket along the outside to make sure that when you seal it on there, it actually creates the seal. This particular brand I also like because the end is not just open like a lot of other ones. It has like a little, almost a grate on the end to keep it from backflowing into here. So inside here, it comes with this little breathable, it has a bunch of holes in the top. Can you see that? Yeah. It has a bunch of holes in the top. So it keeps out any kind of bugs, fruit flies, things like that. And it has this main little piece here. It goes on top like this. You put it through the gasket. And then it has just a straight tube that goes through it. And the tube stays clear, but you fill the outer container to about here with water. And then this little upside down shot glass looking thing with holes in it goes on top, right? As it starts to ferment, the pressure is gonna build up in this inner tube, and it's gonna build up and build up and build up until it pushes this. It makes it burp almost, like you'll see a bubble. And this will lift up enough to allow the gases to escape, but it will keep it sealed. Is that a good explanation? I'm not good at this. I don't use these very often. I had them, but I was inspired because Robert uses them all the time in his liquor ferments, and I was like, oh, that'd be something great to try. So we're gonna see if we have any better luck with an airlock versus Mason Tops kit. These are super cheap too. I'll link these down below. If you guys are interested, you can check it out. It'll be an affiliate link, same with the book that I showed you. Normally I would put this inside of a dish to collect any kind of overflow, but given that the ferment is down here, I don't see that being necessary. So, and I'm gonna put this at a cool room temperature. I don't wanna put it anywhere hot, otherwise it will ferment too quickly. It will get mushy, and the finished product will not last as long as if I had fermented at a lower temperature. It's also gonna make it not taste as good. Low and slow. It's the way to go. Of course, I will make sure to bring you guys back as we are checking on this throughout future vlogs. Thanks for listening to me. I felt like I really just needed to, to have a chat. You know what I'm saying? I've had a lot of kind of ups and downs, and I feel like I'm really coming to the place where I'm understanding what change will require of me. And I just wanted to share that with you because I know that Jess doesn't have to share all that stuff on her channel, but she does, and it inspires a lot of people. So I thought maybe there's some people out there who would be interested by what I'm experiencing, as well as learning about Jess's channel. I think that she has a lot of really inspiring kind of mindset type things. She's gone through a lot, and like I said earlier, her story is very similar to mine in, you know, getting there and then letting it all go, and then just spending a lot of time afterwards trying to figure out why. So if you guys are enjoying Vlogmas/Fermentmas and you would like to follow along with me as I pursue my gut health, as well as all of my homesteading shenanigans, click this button right here. This is the subscribe button. This is what tells YouTube you want to come back here. Up here is a video that Mr. Google Pants thinks that you're going to enjoy. Over here is my last Vlogmas video, and then up here is my Vlogmas playlist. Check it out for all the awesomeness since the beginning of December. Peace out, sauerkraut.